The definitive weeks of 2018 include bin drama, to say the low. World stockpile markets are swirling, broken in portion by the against free marketplace trading mood how continues to coil out of Washington. Looking front to the new year, yet, pro-free trading movements in Europe and in Asia are progressive. Two main agreements are on to go in impact how will give along several of the planet's largest trade areas and economies. And they eliminate the planet's two largest economies, the US and China, who are betrothed in their own trading warfare. Complementary trading agreements are intended to cut trading tariff among term countries. Tariff are a shape of taxation, love a boundary taxation. They are located on consumer goods upcoming in a nation for a band of reasons, occasionally to try and defend a household-made food. The especially pure Complementary Trading Treaty, FTA, removes all boundary taxes or trading impeding on consumer goods. They get rid of quotas too much, so down there is no range to the sum of trading you can do. FTAs as well assist do a nation's supply more profitable and offer facilitating accession to some markets. They go in all kinds of forms and in various rules, but in brief, they do trading among countries as permissive as probable and enable for more than rules-based contest. The at first new trading treaty to go in impact in 2019 is the Inclusive and Advanced Treaty for Transport Pacific Association, or CPTPP. The broad-ranging transactions was saved by the 11 left members, Australia, Brunei Darussalam, Canada, Chile, Japan, Malaysia, Mexico, Peru, New Zealand, Singapore and Vietnam, and renamed CPTPP, now relating a marketplace of almost 500 million human beings and the economies turned on expense for on 13% of the planet's gross domestic product. On December 30th, it will go in strength for the nations how include finished their ratifying processes, Australia, Canada, Japan, Mexico, New Zealand and Singapore. For Vietnam, the big day is on January 14th and for the other it goes front 60 days following they full their own ratifications. Time all how is departure on, else big FTA is anticipated to go in impact on February 1st. It strengthens the EU and Japan's commitments about environment changing and stable growth. These two deals are in absolute difference to the US more protective policies. They are recognized by several as creature vital essential to the next of complementary and equitable world trading. Moreover, the planet's tertiary greatest economics, Japan, is implicated in both of them. Japan has in the history, been really busy in complementary trading negotiations at international level, but how has modified in both of CPTPP and the EU-Japan EPA. As well, following the US stretched out of TPP, Japan led the negotiating efforts to give the new CPTPP along. It's very and spectacular evolutionary for Japan, says Frank Avalanche, ex-US Deputy Minister of World Trading, and head execution of Exportable currently. Japan has historic been the greatest economics how has been the low ecstatic for liberalization, and now it's walking up and liberalizing in the silent and the EU, he says. They include told we include to outdoor up our economics, we include got to globalize, we include to liberalize. So it's a enormous win for them, he adds. Jun Yamazaki, Japan's envoy to Singapore, attributes the changing to Main Secretary Shinzo Abe. He was beforehand betrothed in the entire force and I believe he saw how the was vital essential for Japan, he says. Several Japan means very are top grade, but I believe we include to be a slight bit more than pioneering and see how they can be marketed, not fair in Japan but in some countries as so. The changing in Japan's attitude to complementary trading has been a progressive evolutionary. Mr. Yamazaki says, I believe we include scientific lot things above the year and we see now how complementary trading is certainly in the interests of Japan. Ours nation does not make nature asset. Our force is how we include human beings, a rather so educated people how is quite industrious in making things. And in procedure to utilize how property, we do include to include cooperation in the external planet, and how certainly tool complementary trading, and creation a more than liberalist invest environment. Deborah Elms, chief of the Asiatic Trading Center in Singapore, says how the companies who will gain the largest of CPTPP while it comes in strength on December 30 are such how include been profitable focus to the agreement and which it will propose them. As well, since CPTPP is not a common complementary trading treaty, she says, but quite a profound and blocking one, it may include undertaken several firms by surprise party, especially in its fractional adoption at the period of year. But she says for the business community who include been profitable focus, the benefits will be instant. In reality, CPTPP members include in fact broad and sudden, previous New Year's souvenir. No just does the whole treaty start on the at first date, but largest firms will get dual rate intermittent by January 1, 2019.